Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys make strong statement on Matt Eberflus' future. It's become a common refrain among Cowboys fans, media and players alike. The team's defense is not working, and someone should be held accountable. Defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus would be the most obvious target, and the question of whether his style of play meshes with the Cowboys personnel has been the subject of much debate. Or maybe there is no debate, it's just obviously not working. The Cowboys allowed 30 points in the loss to the Panthers in Week 6, running their season mark to 184 points allowed, 30.7 points per game, which is 31st in the NFL. They are 32nd in pass yards allowed, 1,617, and 29th in rush yards allowed, 853. Firing Eberflus 6 games into the season probably does not make much sense, because the Cowboys would then have to either install a new coordinator and new defense on the fly, or bump up someone from within who would probably only change things on the margins. Still, the team is at a point where it seems matters can't get worse, and some change is better than no change. Stephen Jones, the Cowboys VP and son of owner Jerry Jones, was asked on Monday about firing Eberflus, and his response was likely not what the bloodthirsty among the Cowboys fan base was looking for. They're not making a move for a new defensive coordinator at this point. Guys, we're worried about going to work this week and getting better this week so we can do more consistent executing, he told 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. We feel like, as coach, Brian Schottenheimer said, we've got good personnel and I think we're gonna evolve into a good defense. We just have to go to work. Of course, the Cowboys have been working at this since late July, so it's been 2.5 months putting together a system that has not produced. One player who was outspoken about the need for the Cowboys to change their playing style, to go with more man-to-man coverage, has been cornerback Trayvon Diggs. He was decidedly unhappy on Sunday after giving up 410 yards to the Panthers. "Yeah, it's very frustrating," Diggs said after the loss to Carolina, via the Dallas Morning News. "It's all these points, given up, the receivers are running wide open down the field, too many busted coverages. It's a lot. I feel like we're all over the place and we really don't have no identity." Jones pushed back on that nothing, saying the Cowboys are still evolving defensively. More than a third of the way through the season, that's probably not encouraging. Cowboys called out for catastrophic roster move. The Dallas Cowboys were on the receiving end of one of the greater called shots in recent NFL history in Week 6. That's when Carolina Panthers running back Rico Dowdle told his former team to buckle up, headed into the game, then went out and set a franchise record with 239 yards from scrimmage. Dowdle simply imposed his will on the Cowboys from start to finish, while his replacement in Dallas, Javonte Williams, had his worst game of the year with 13 carries for 29 yards. Dowdle signed a 1-year, $2.75 million free agent contract with the Panthers after he played the first 5 seasons of his career in Dallas. He had a breakout season with over 1,000 rushing yards in 2024 to go with 249 receiving yards. It still wasn't enough for the Cowboys to convince themselves he was a better play than Williams, who signed a 1-year, $3 million free agent contract with the Cowboys after 4 seasons with the Denver Broncos. Through 6 games, he still leads the Cowboys with 476 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns and is averaging 5.2 yards per carry. Still, to get torched like that by a player you discarded in such public fashion has to feel catastrophic for the Cowboys, who dropped to 2-3-1 with the loss. "I didn't know Emmitt Smith was going to show up in a Panther uniform," ESPN Stephen A. Smith said on First Take on October 13, comparing Dowdle to the NFL career-leading rusher and former Cowboy. The revenge of Rico Dowdle was a hot topic on social media and the Monday morning following the game. "That wasn't Rico Dowdle out there," former NFL MVP and ESPN commentator Cam Newton said on October 13. "That man said, 'Tell them to buckle up,' then went out and did the damn thing. That wasn't Rico Dowdle out there, that was Rico Suave out there." Dowdle has an incredible 473 yards from scrimmage in his last 2 games, becoming just the 7th NFL player since 1970 to have over 225 yards from scrimmage in 2 consecutive games. Rico Dowdle has more yards from scrimmage in his last 2 games, 473, than Saquon Barkley has all season, 462, NFL on CBS wrote on its official X account. "We've been saying he was a dog. Today he was a horse," former Panthers running back Jonathan Stewart said. "Is he the best running back in the league right now? Because he's sure playing like it." Cowboys predicted to pull off blockbuster trade for electric 560-yard playmaker. The Dallas Cowboys entered the 2025 campaign with a very shaky situation at the running back position. The Cowboys let last year's leading rusher, Rico Dowdle, leave in free agency. Dowdle has since made them pay for that. The team signed former second-round pick Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. Williams has been a revelation through 6 games this season and ranks 4th in rushing yards. But the Sanders acquisition has not been successful after the veteran suffered a season-ending injury. As a result, the Cowboys only have rookie Jaden Blue behind Williams the rest of the way and could use more insurance. While we don't think the Cowboys are going to make any semblance of a splash at the position and instead only a small move, if any, Fansided's Christopher Klein disagrees. He predicts the Cowboys will pull off a blockbuster trade for New York Jets running back Breece Hall. Hall is off to a strong start to the season over the first 6 games after tallying 560 yards from scrimmage, including 410 on the ground. That's made more impressive by the fact that the Jets are totally inept on offense. Hall has expressed his desire to stay in New York, but the Jets have a lot of needs up and down the roster and shouldn't even consider paying out big money for a running back at this early stage in the rebuild. Knowing that, the Jets should absolutely trade Hall before he hits free agency in 2026. There is no denying that Hall would help improve the Cowboys' offense thanks to his ability to rip off explosive plays anytime the ball is in his hands. All that remains is to wait to find out what steps Jerry Jones and the front office will take from now on. What do you think? Like, comment and subscribe to the channel.